Hello everybody, welcome back to the Trackmania games, and there is only one game left to go. The grand finals of the mixed duos is our final game, and it's all to play for Team GB. That is the storyline that we have here. Team Germany, they have locked in their victory here, over 10,000 points in the Trackmania games, but for Great Britain, take a look at that. They are just about within reach here of France, as far as we are aware. And, you know, we won't be 100% sure until afterwards when the admins have tallied everything up and, you know, we know for certain. But Team GB, as far as we are aware, are within reach of second place if they get first in this grand finals. And, hey, look, in a medal table, this actually would be between Germany and Great Britain for the grand final. So if you really want, if you're a Great Britain fan and you do want to look at it in a favorable way, then if Great Britain win this, then in a traditional medal table, they would win the Trackmania games. Germany, however, put together so many amazing performances that didn't quite get them a gold, that they are out ahead. So that is where things stand. It is all down to the grand finals, Orion, and yeah, Team GB a chance of getting the silver medal overall.
Yeah, and a pretty good chance as well, because once again in this bracket we have another rematch between Great Britain and Germany. This time it's Great Britain 2 going up against Germany 1. Bosbez and Epos, who finished first and second in the mixed solo event, and they actually beat them 2-0 earlier. So this grand final, I don't want to call it an anti-climax, because if Great Britain win, then it will be monumental for them. But they've already beaten them once, you know. It could happen again. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. G-Geek, obviously that you have stakes in this one as well, I'm sure, as a Frenchman. What are your thoughts going into it?
In an ideal world, I would have said I just hope both teams lose, but that's not how this worked, unfortunately. So, yeah. In the end, no matter the results, it's an absolute cinema. We expected mixed duo to be pure cinema anyway, as has been the rest of Trackmania games, be it RPG that we witnessed a little bit earlier, be it mixed solo, tech solo, full speed, all the other disciplines. Honestly, we're in for a treat of a match, but in my heart, just in my heart, maybe there's a Schwarzwald in there somewhere.
Okay then, and Turbo, yeah, I'm assuming. Look, you've already won. You've put your arms down. It's fine, but I'm sure you're hopeful that Team Germany can also get themselves another gold on the board.
Of course, but I would also love to see a match that goes to full length, 3 maps. Yep. That would be awesome. I mean, the match from beforehand was amazing, probably the best match that I've seen this year, like not even close probably, but I'm happy to see a close match, and of course Germany taking the revenge there as well would be cool, but I mean, going up against Great Britain too, that is not an easy task, to say the least, right? That is not like precisely. They have been steamrolling so far.
Yeah, I mean, Orion touched on it earlier, but of course, you know, it's worth mentioning again that Bosbez and Epos both won solo in the mixed tournament, first and second. In fact, they were both on finalists at the same time for that grand finals there. So on their own, these are 2 powerhouse players in terms of the standings there. And when put together, I mean, we've seen the run that they've had through the upper bracket. But before we get going with the grand finals, let's get an actual prediction. Not who you hope will win, not who not what you want for the viewers. Yeah, exactly. What if it is the same, right? Who do you think is going to win this grand final matchup, Orion?
Yeah, Team GB, Bos and Epos, first and second in mixed solo. They've only dropped 1 map so far throughout the entire bracket. I don't see how they lose this.
All right, and G-Geek and Turbo, this is where things get a little. This is where the answers get a little more interesting. G-Geek, who do you think is going to win?
I give the edge to Germany in a 3-game series that would go with at least 1 overtime.
Okay, all right then, funky. And Turbo?
That's what I hope for. Let's say like this, but to be realistic, I mean, I have to go with Orion, but I also hope that Letzter and New Prime, then an XP will come up to me and be like, yo, Turbo, you were wrong about that, and I hope that. Let's say it like that, right?
Yeah, he's having dreams of it. One day they'll be like, we proved you wrong, like something out of an action movie at the end. Walk off into the sunset. I mean, look, you've already got the victory. Team Germany have done an amazing job over the Trackmania games. We got a small delay getting into this grand final. I think that's fine. We should let the players have their moment before they go on their victory lap, as it were, for both teams. Obviously, no matter who wins, it is going to be a victory lap for both of them, but for Team GB, real stakes in this one. Second place and third place does not get them enough points to take home second, but these are both, after all, podium standers here for the Trackmania games, and it has been one hell of a games. This past couple of days has put everything so close to each other in second, third, and the top 10 even have changed around so much. I think the players are in, so I am going to throw it over to our casters now, and then we can get started on that one. So G-Geek and Turbo, enjoy your final game of the Trackmania games.
Thank you very much, Twiggy, and well, Kai, it's all led up to this. We've had 3 weeks of competition, all boiling down to this one moment. We didn't think it would come any closer after all the things we've happened involving certain nations, but we are there to witness a little bit of history in the making, and I think I couldn't be any happier to be there with you for that little bit of history that's in the making.
Yeah, we come full circle again, Tom. It's been awesome, and we have a banger of a match hopefully coming up. I mean, the match from beforehand, like, I'm speechless. I was sitting here like, what was going on there? Like, so many close rounds.
I still got some remnants of the shakies, from that previous match, not gonna lie.
Some remnants, yeah, but I mean, I hope that it will not be a 2-map clean sweep. I think like a New Prime and Letzter will take that momentum that maybe got a little bit of a dent from that penultimate, or from the ace, where everything got very exciting again onto account. So let's see how this goes, guys. One last dance. New Prime and Letzter versus Boss Bass and Epos. Here we go. I'm hyped, really.
I'm pumped as well. I'm really pumped as well as we go through the pick phase. Bourdon, as chosen by Team GB, will be the opening map. Addiction will be map number 2, as chosen by the Germans, and that leaves, yet again, Cryomass as a decider. And if the previous game is anything to go by, once we reach map 3, prepare. We often say the sparks fly. Prepare for buckets of sparks to be thrown onto the racetrack, given how much fight there's going to be.
Yeah, it will be absolutely insane, but the first map is Bourdon by Leroy and Feet. Taking a look onto the world records, Letzter New Prime on top, ahead of Josh and Epos. Where is the teammate here? I do not see Boss Bass on P19 on that map. Epos on P4, Geek, on the leaderboard.
Epos on P4. Interesting. Whilst you're looking at the world records, I'm also taking a look at the median times that I can get the various stats that you can, of course, once again, for one final time, consult and check out over at eCircuitMania.com, where you can also get the full breakdown match by round of every single match of every single discipline here in the Trackmania games. For data freaks like myself a little bit, it's a gold mine. And see, Letzter and New Prime, 0.46, 0.49 for New Prime in median times. Then you look at Boss, 55.341 on median time, 0.256 for Epos, with the best time in match of a 55.005. This is looking like a very, very tough team to actually topple for Team Germany, especially when you consider that Epos has won over half of the rounds that he has played here on Bourdon. Also, Letzter, not too shabby with 18 rounds out of 49, but 21 out of 41. This is just a superb record of dominance for Epos on Bourdon, as the field is let loose, and we are racing for one final time in the Trackmania games.
And let's go into the first round. Of course, every player opting for that wall bang here. And in the match between France and Great Britain, we have seen the French players not going for that or not feeling that comfortable with it. Epos with a first mistake. Maybe the pressure is still on there. Maybe they're not, like they had a break, of course. And that could play a role as well. He's 1 second behind. That is a good start for Germany. However, let's not with a good transition over on that part. So it's between Bossbez and New Prime for the first place here, as New Prime gets a good line into there. Bossbez having to readjust. That is good for Germany, but still Bossbez is getting it together. Now the turnaround comes into play. Bossbez with the mistake. No, he actually gets it across, but it's not enough to snipe New Prime in the end. But Bossbez with a great time here as well. 55 low, the starting points here, but Germany victorious in this round, going into the lead.
And right out of the gates, a low 55.1, a .114 as a matter of fact, for New Prime in that particular opening round. As we go into round number 2, great 90-degree right-hander before checkpoint number 2. Everybody makes it through nice and clean as we go for the wall bang for almost everybody concerned. Epos emerging from that hairpin at checkpoint 3 with the lead, and Leicester having had a shocker of an exit and double transition to move back down to P4, and now he has to rely once again on New Prime to try and pick up the slack and take over the lead of the race, although he finds himself in a bit of a spot of bother as both Boss and Epos are trying to tandem this together and trying to pull away from Team Germany, and there's the rift between the top 2 and the bottom 2 without any mixing up of the teams, with Epos in the lead, a 10th ahead of his own teammate, make that a 10th and a half on the way towards the grass road from checkpoint number 8. We're not hitting the outside wall for Team GB. We are hitting the outside wall on the very exit of the corner, though, for New Prime, and .058 for Boz, who snipes his teammate who drives a very low .1. And with that, we get a swift answer from Team GB to the victory of Team Germany right there.
Yeah, very swift answer. Of course, no pun intended with the team name. Of course, their Team Swift was also a thing. Let's be real with that. But unreal performance from Bossbez in the first 2 rounds, getting first and second place respectively. So good to see that. Now let's start with the first mistake, finding himself in last position. New Prime with a good start here, finding himself quite far ahead, getting a good transition there as well. .2 ahead. I think he's on a great time. I mean, he has the second world record on this map here. Maybe he can push it even further. A world record is still something that I would really love to see in this grand final, but look at that. Bossbez and Epos coming a bit closer here. They have had a good amount of speed accumulated in that sector here, but still New Prime in the lead, and now the ending will decide it. Epos with a very aggressive direct line, but he will touch the outside, and Leicester can capitalize on that. But let's first see what time is New Prime able to cook here. 55.156, and also Leicester staying behind Epos even though he has made that mistake. So a draw, heavily advantageous for Great Britain. Now it's 5-3, and Germany has to answer that ace still.
Yeah, Team GB can be thankful for that, the fact that the gaps were already towards 9/10 of a second by the time we had a touch on the side of Team GB to secure the draw enforcement there, and that allows Team GB to already be a third of the way there towards map point number 1 here in those grand finals. Epos this time being a little bit on the back foot after checkpoint number 3, and he will be in last place by about 0.3 of a second compared to the leading trio of Leicester, Bossbez, and New Prime in no particular order, although so far it's Team Germany locking out the top 2 positions, and we see Epos trying to catch up to his teammate, trying to regroup, saying, okay, let's try to work together with this and try to actually pile the pressure on Team Germany to force them into a mistake, and the mistake comes from the part of Leicester, who hits the apex wall before checkpoint 8. Bossbez in the lead, New Prime under threat for Epos for second place, and the ace goes the way of Team GB with a .071, just a 10th ahead of Epos, and it will be 8-3 as a result of that great comeback from Epos after such a bad first sector to move onto a 5-point lead for Team GB.
It looked so good for Germany in that round until it didn't. Now Leicester with a respawn, even New Prime with a slight bump there before the dirt section on that transition, and thereby he didn't have enough speed to work with. But also in this round, a lot of mistakes have happened, so maybe that gives us a bit of breathing room. It's 8-3, point limit is 15, and also New Prime, that is a mistake that you should avoid at any cost. That is the ace just gifted to your opponents. Look at the gaps. This round is decided here, let's say the least. And it's then 11-3 Geek. I mean, this looks grim for Germany, even though the start looked quite promising. So they need to find the reset key here for them. But Epos and Bossbest, they can save it. They have nothing to lose. They can even opt for the safe finish here in that regard, but they're still deciding to go for the turnaround. And they go another ace for Great Britain. Germany in shambles on map 1.
Yeah, Germany not seeming to find the rhythm right out of the gates, not able to be in the groove as early as they need be. And as you said, they need to find the reset button, trying to find themselves a little bit of time and maybe an opportunity to recenter here in this opening map if they want to turn the tide around. But an 8-point gap to climb back up at this late stage of the game, 2/3 of the way in for Team GB. This is looking very, very grim indeed for Leicester and New Prime, and they need to really put the rubber on the road right now, as we see New Prime going so close to the inside wall on the attack of the wood. Leicester going too far on the outside into the wood, getting a lot of airtime, and will thus potentially be condemned for a perennial 4th place here on this round as we go into checkpoint number 7, the start of sector number 3, and a touch from Epos, promoting Leicester up to 3rd. Bossbez, the only man from Team GB, trying to pile the pressure on New Prime for the lead of the race. Leicester waiting to pounce, maybe waiting for an opportunity to present itself. Bossbez so close to hitting the outside wall with the right rear, but he will not do so, and at least get 1 point on the board for Team GB, but that was oh so close for Boz, as Team GB continue to lead, this time with 7 points over Team Germany, and they move on to map point attempt number 1.
Still a victory here for Germany, but Great Britain getting 1 point out of it. A spark of hope for Germany, of course, but also I want to stress the end line from Bossbez. It's much different. The third turn, it looks so risky to do it, but of course he plays with mouse velocity, so he moves his mouse and thereby telling his car of how much he has to steer into and how much not. So you need a very long mouse pad for that, for sure. And now Germany, this is the time to get the ace across. You were already in that situation. Epos made that mistake, is almost a second behind. New Prime bumping a little bit, gets it under control, and also Bossbez losing a lot of speed in that sector. Leicester and New Prime only have a couple of turns to go by, and then the score would be 12-8, but still a massive task to come back from. The point limit is 15 points, and here we go. Germany wins this round with an ace, and look at that time. We almost have a new world record here, 400 off of the records. Leicester with an amazing time.
Leicester deciding that laughing time is over. 3 points earned, 4 left to go for Team Germany to wipe the slate clean, and then some maybe, as we do see a little bit of a flutter from Bossbez on the way towards the first checkpoint, thus dropping him down provisionally to 4th position as we go through the hairpin of checkpoint number 3 and onto sector number 2 with the ramp to road transition. Again, New Prime going very close to the inside on the way towards the wood. Leicester in the lead, Epos in 2nd, New Prime in 3rd place, continuing to try and pile on the pressure on the man from Team GB, his teammate Bossbez in P4, 4/10 down compared to the leader as we go into round number 7. In checkpoint number 7 and sector 3, it will be Leicester still ahead of Epos, still ahead of New Prime in that order, 2/10 down, but look at Epos going way wide, opening the door for New Prime as we go towards the final corner. Are there going to be any mistakes? Epos and New Prime locked side by side. It will be down to the stripe to the side. It will be Epos leading the way and resisting a late surge from New Prime to resist the ace from being scored by Team Germany, and thus Team GB continue to climb slowly but surely towards that first map point. Germany is into the double digits. They continue to pile on, and they need to continue cranking up the heat.
This is the round that really matters if Germany can come back. Preferably they want to get that ace, because Great Britain are only 2 points to close out this map here. But this exit from the dirt is so funky to me. Like, sometimes it looks like a player has more speed, but no, they don't. They just have a better approach for that sector afterwards. But now Epos again falling a bit behind here, 12% top ones, heavily relying on Bossbez here in this match. He plays an absolute fantastic match and also contests the 2nd place here against New Prime. Leicester in the lead by 0.1 of a second, but it all comes down to the ending again. Bossbez, very aggressive and direct approach. Let's see if his ending is working out again. Oh, New Prime versus Bossbez. The turn turnaround will decide it. Leicester will win this round. Bossbeth with an amazing turnaround, but New Prime stays ahead. And another sub 55. It's 13-13. It looked grim for Germany, Geek, but all of a sudden, the score is tied.
3 rounds ago, it was a 7-point deficit that Germany were faced with. Now, the slate has been wiped completely clean. Whoever gets a victory in this match, in this particular round, will get map number 1 in the books. And there's a solid opportunity for Team GB as New Prime falls by the wayside after a very hefty clip. Exiting checkpoint number 3, Bossbez with the supremely clean wood moves up into the provisional lead of the race. It will be all down to Leicester to try and actually get first place, to extract one more round, potentially an early overtime right after game 1, Kai. This could very well happen, but we still have to wait and see what the finish has to offer. Leicester in the lead by a 10.5 as we switch directions and go up the road as we see Leicester just pulling away, and he has clipped the side before the reactor. 16-13. Team GB win their pick. 1-0 for Epos and Boz.
And this really describes how the map went for Germany. They were already in that situation where they could have aced their opponents. Well, again, the ending came as the decider here, as a mistake. 16-13 though, still a great comeback from Germany, but it wasn't enough eventually. 1-0 for Great Britain 2, and we go to map number 2 here, Geek. It was still a close map, though.
Yeah, it was still somewhat close, although I gotta say, yeah, Germany may be paying for a little bit of a lackluster performance in the very early phase of the map, and thus getting the momentum a little bit too on the side of Team GB. They were able to climb that back, but then that pesky clip of the final sign in the last round is so costly. For Leicester especially, because he was the one on which all of the hopes of Germany were pinned to go into one potential decider round or trying to force it into an overtime. We could have seen an overtime there right from map 1. This is really what boggles my mind in that particular opener. In the end, though, GB able to clutch it 16-13 as we're going to be moving on to Addiction, which is Team Germany's pick. Leicester and New Prime looking pretty solid in terms of chances and in terms of median times as well. Both into the points, 57.6s as medians, and having a fairly solid track record up until the start of the day with 40.5% round win rate individually.
That's a lot, actually, if you think about it. And, I mean, there's a lot of what-ifs in this match already. You know, a lot of rounds where Germany could have definitely gotten an ace across, rounds where they just crashed. I remember one ace round, which was vital for Germany to not crash, but then they threw it away. The gaps were very, very large already, but let's see. There will be a reset mindset-wise, hopefully, for the German players to bounce back to see map number 3. And let's focus on this first round here on Addiction, a map from Mime. And look at that. Leicester and New Prime with the best of starts here. Bossbez a bit further behind, but only by 0.2 of a second. The ending has been providing so much content here on this map because players are pushing so much. And look at this. It's neck and neck in the top 3. It's only a couple of thousands between them. Make it 500ths of a second. Leicester and New Prime with a very good line into that part. But Epos is definitely not slowing down. Let's focus on the ending. We only have a couple of more turns to go, and it is Leicester and New Prime still in the lead. There's one more turn to go, and you need a smooth exit from that. Epos gets it good, and it will be the ace on Germany's pick here. 57.5 as well. Only 0.2 away from the world record. Absolutely incredible times, and most importantly, the ace for Germany.
The tone was set right from round 1. It was set already in round 1 of Bordeaux, but it gets set even clearer here on round 1 of Addiction. Germany is done playing around and fooling around, and it's intending to actually take this grand finals into game number 3, and they're showing that intent after that result. And currently Leicester looking to get back up the pecking order, but this time it will be New Prime going too close to the inside wall before checkpoint number 4 as we go to sector number 2. Epos takes the lead, Leicester in second, and Boz down to 3rd position. New Prime down to 4th, both Bez up to 3rd as we go up the long left-hander, and Leicester clipping with the right rear on the way up the hill towards checkpoint number 7, gives a free pass for Team GB to deal the counter ace and level the playing field once more as we go through the final sets of corners, the final slide in the dirt, the snap. Let's see what the stopwatch will say at the end of this round for Epos. It will be a .609 and a .659 for Bosbenz in second. But with that sweet advantage that Germany built up in round number 1 just completely washed away.
Nullified, one could say. It's 3-3 here. The counter ace comes into play. And let's go into round number 3 and let's see if a team can move away or if we maybe see a draw here. But 2 individual mistakes from Germany definitely play a significant role for Great Britain to take that ace. And yeah, tie up the score. New Prime with a good start. Epos falling a bit behind here is half a second there, and also Bossbest with a very wide line doesn't nail the exit from that turn but decides to just go for more exit speed. So again, Bossbest just seems to take some different lines in comparison to the other players, but right now looks to be another ace. But in this time it will be for Germany. New Prime and Let's Start finding themselves quite comfortably in the lead by 0.1 of a second, but the ending is still very, very important to clear accordingly. You should avoid hitting the pole on the inside and also accumulate much or a lot of speeds to clear that jump, and that looks good. Let's Start New Prime taking it home, and also a 0.4 from New Prime again. 3 rounds, 3 aces. But Germany is right now in the lead. They need to win this map.
0.454. And yes, pace out of 10 just got displayed here on that 3rd round of proceedings on Addiction. 3 back-to-back aces. It's a bit of a tennis match between these two for now, with one ace going the way of Germany, the other going of GB, and then Germany retaking the advantage as we go into round number 4. Sector number 2 is underway. Letzter with a great entry into the plastic will be moving into the lead ahead of his teammate U Prime. All 4 though not done just yet. 80 milliseconds between 1st and 4th, and it will be Letzter fluttering a little bit, bobbing a little bit to the side and hitting with the right rear, the outside wall in checkpoint number 7. Checkpoint 8 in start of sector 3. Epos and New Prime battling for the lead. Bossbest locked out in 3rd place. Epos versus New Prime. Advantage to New Prime for now. Who gets the best snap? Who gets the best slide? Epos is going to go side by side at the stripe. And with a hit from the arch at the finish, Epos relinquishes the lead to New Prime, allowing Team Germany to validate the draw 7-4 at the end of round 4 for the red side.
So important to stay ahead in this round here, to just deny that 1 additional point to Great Britain too, and making sure they do not catch up. So let's go into the next round. Round number 5 it is. Letzer now with a mistake, finding himself in last position. Not too far behind though, had an awkward gear there by the looks of it, but got away with it quite quickly. So only 0.2 of a second he's behind. That is not too much. He can definitely come back from that, especially when you're pushing like that. Not the best exit in that turn, so it's Epos and Bossbest versus New Prime here. The last remaining German player left. Nobody clipping the outside dirt turn this time around, and that is a great fight again that is developing here up until the ending. Nothing is decided just yet. 700ths of a second between them. New Prime still holding on to the lead. Will it be another draw and Germany will move up ever so closer to those 15 points? And yes, it looks good. What time will it be? Will it be a 0.4? Yes, it will. A 0.469, 0.2 away from the world record again. Amazing rounds. Geek, Letzter failed the start. He was 0.2 behind, but still only finished 0.3 away from the rest of the pack. Amazing.
Imagine driving a 0.7 and then ending up 4th. That's how stout that round from New Prime was in that particular instance. Can he maintain that stout level of performance and ownage of the track for much longer though, until it starts to kind of break his back? Letzter needs to actually get his act together now after a couple of rounds where he has been a little bit on the back foot. So far so good now as we go into checkpoint 6 and the long left-hander. Are there going to be any hits from the right rear? Nope. So far so good. It will be Bossbest at the tail end of the field by less than a 1/10 of a second. Checkpoint 8, and it will be Epos clipping the apex on the way to checkpoint 8, offering a golden opportunity for Team Germany to continue piling on their advantage. But Bossbest trying to keep him honest, trying to run them down, trying to gun them down for P2, potentially the lead at the stripe. It will be Boss resisting the assault of New Prime by 4 milliseconds. And look at the times. 0.6 ain't even enough for 3rd.
That's amazing and incredible at the same time. How did Bossbest stay ahead there of the second German member? That was incredible. So important to deny that ace to Germany in their 4,000th of a second, but also courtesy to the mistake from Epos there in this round. Germany now 5 points away of winning this map, and we could go to map number 3. Keep in mind, those teams have already played against each other, and Germany lost 2-0, so this is already a big step. I'm not sure how close the maps were in particular, but you can check that out on Trackmania, and there were probably plenty of casts for that as well. But let's take a look onto this round. New Prime and Leicester, first and second. That's what they're really in need of to apply maximum pressure onto Great Britain too here. Epos and Bossbest are not too far behind, 0.15 of a second. New Prime on an amazing time, could be even up 0.3. Leicester holding on to dear life, wants to get that second position. Epos with good speed, but Leicester will take it, and it's another 0.4. And Geek, in this round you drive a 0.6 and you're last. What
are these times? These rounds are just indefensible for Team GB. They're absolutely indefensible. Map points, take 2 for Germany as they try to force map 3. They try to get us on Cryomass for one last map. Going on into checkpoint 4 for the plastic parts. Epos balls Leicester. 1, 2, 3. New Prime looking to get right back in it. Epos trying to pull a little bit of a lead, managing to keep it nice and safe, contained within the yellow line. On the way up towards checkpoint 7. Epos still leading. Leicester moving up to second ahead of Bossbez before sector number 3. Bossbez now in a fight with New Prime to try and retain third place and actually get some gap back for Team GB. Epos now wavering a little bit. Leicester, the door is open for him. He seizes it at the first time of asking, and New Prime makes it an ace by 2 milliseconds with a 0.547. 16-6 for Germany on Addiction. Bourdon, map pick from GB, won by GB. Addiction, map pick from Germany, won by Germany. That leaves us with one last clash on Cryomass.
One more map in the Trackmania games of 2026, and Geek, I'm speechless from Germany's ending on that round. It looked like a victory for Great Britain. During the entirety of the round, and then one turn, well, 1-2. Thank you so much. Let's go to the last and decisive map, Cryomass from Roxy. What a way to end off things here. It's 1-1. That's what we were expecting, or hoping at least, let's say it like that. And we have one more map to go, guys. Oh my god.
One more map to go, and still all to play for. Reminder, if Team GB wins, they lock second place in. If Germany wins, France beats Team GB. That's what's at stake here. And also, it would even out the medal count for Team Germany, who currently sit on 2 golds, 3 silvers, and 3 bronze. They could be on the docket for a 3rd gold medal if they're able to take down Epos and Bossbez in this 3rd and final map of the grand finals, due to start any moment now. And actually, for one last time, Kai, we go racing, and for the first round, take it away.
Let's go into the first round here. Indeed, again, this map being the decider. We had an absolute masterclass in the consolidation match where Germany won against Great Britain. That was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and rewatch it. You know the result, that Germany has won, obviously, but how and what rounds have developed there is a complete different story. However, here, Great Britain 2 finding themselves in first and second position due to New Prime's mistake. He's very far behind, 0.6 of a second. Very important to get a good exit from that ice slide, and then set up nicely for that outside dirt and slingshot into the last part of the track. Leicester got it really well, attacking both Epos and Bossbez for the ending. Will it be enough? It's so close to the line we go, and it's the ace for Great Britain 2. A good way to start off the map. Similar to map number 2, just that the ace thereby went for Germany, but 3,000s also between both Great Britain 2 players.
Yeah, both Great Britain 2 players managing to finish in tandem. Leicester maybe going a little bit wider and a little bit later towards the finish trigger in that risky finish, thus allowing Team GB to score those first 3 points on the board. Now, moving on to round number 2. We have Epos and Leicester locking horns as we go through checkpoint 5, end of sector number 1. Leicester trying to move into the lead. He's still going toe-to-toe with Epos as we go up the long left-hander in the dirt. Everybody continuing it within the yellow line. No hits from the right side of the car on the outside wall. Bosbest left a little bit behind at the 10th and a half. Very different line setup from Leicester. Might be losing a little bit of time here and there. We go way wide, though, for New Prime before checkpoint 9. Thus, he will be dropping back down to P4. Bosbest now back with his teammates in first and second. Leicester in third. New Prime maybe trying to do something with the outside dirt line. This is looking incredibly close in the top 3. New Prime making it maybe an interesting 4-way fight as we go towards the final corner. Is it going to be enough to try and salvage something from this? The answer is a no by 300ths of a second. And Boz and Epos again a tandem finish by 7 milliseconds, and back-to-back aces, putting a right big thorn on the side of Team Germany.
Yeah, this is unfair. Like, Great Britain 2, the last 2 rounds were just incredible to follow. Back-to-back aces and also several thousands apart in both of those rounds. Epos and Bosbest. It works out for them on this map, and it is a hard it will be a hard task for Leicester and New Prime to bounce back from a 6-point deficit. 6-0 is the scoreline, and already a slight mistake has happened to Leicester, who has been dropping behind a little bit. Didn't get a good transition in that part. Finds himself 0.2 behind by the looks of it, and now it's New Prime's task to deny that ace yet again. It could even be a clean sweep, but it's too early to tell. Leicester also not with the best of exits here from the ice slide, but New Prime is really trying. He wants to get at least 1 point on the board. Bosbest with a mistake, but it's all between Epos and New Prime. But New Prime with a mistake, and it's the back-to-back-to-back ace for Great Britain 2. It's 9-0. Great Britain 2 asserting dominance on this map, and another 0.7 from Epos. That is an incredible performance from Great Britain 2.
Germany have poked the bear on addiction, and that bear has woken up and become very angry and is absolutely decimating everything in its path here on Cryomass. Back-to-back-to-back 3-pointers. They're already past the halfway mark towards that match point, and that's victory point in the mixed duo tournament, which would secure second place in the nation's leaderboard. But so far, New Prime and Leicester trying to make amends from the previous rounds. We go so close to the outside wall on the exit there for Leicester on the way towards checkpoint 7. It will be a Germany 1-2 for now, but Epos still waiting in the wings, waiting to pounce, ready to strike at any opportunity that presents itself to him. As we go on to Sector 3, the ice slide, the best snap will go to Boz, who takes over his duties from the teammate as we go towards the downhill right-hander into checkpoint 12. Leicester now under threat from Bosbest for second place, and now Bosbest has his eye on the prize. Maybe another P1 for a Team GB player. So far, it will not be enough. It will be a victory for Team Germany, who finally get on the board. 10-2 for Team GB, 5 units away from getting a 4th gold medal. Germany have it all to do.
But there was also a slight victory here for Great Britain to Bosbest with an incredible ending, getting that 1 point across. So Germany has not an option to come back here in any way. But now Bosbest with a mistake. Maybe that's the round for Germany to come back from. But also Leicester with a mistake. But most importantly, he will stay ahead of Bosbest temporarily. He has good speed here as well. So the battle is going on between New Prime and Epos. Will it be a draw or a victory in favor for Germany? New Prime looking great, is quite far ahead by 0.1 of a second. Good entry into the ice slide as well, and he finds himself very far ahead though, but Epos coming back. Good approach into the drift, wide outside dirt line here as well, trying to accumulate as much speed as possible, but New Prime is too far ahead, and I think that's also 0.7 as well here from New Prime. Let's take a look. Okay, a 0.6. Incredible time, and Bosbest bugging through the block. That was also great. Incredible time from New Prime. Germany with a victory though, 11-4. I think it's still not over, Geek.
Yeah, but I think this is the last rounds where Germany can afford to have those sort of that sort of duality in the showing of the players, and it's sort of two-faced rounds. In one stance, you have a player who drives a 0.6, gets a really stout time, and the other one is just not able to capitalize on that because of mistakes earlier on. This time, they cannot really afford to have anything slip up through their fingers, as we do see New Prime attack the corner way too early and coming in way too hot, hits the outside wall with the right rear, and will leave Leicester to his own devices as we go onto Sector 3. Checkpoint 9 through the ice slide. Epos in the lead by a 10.5 from the battle for second between Leicester and Bosbez. Bosbez taking the lead. We go through the outside dirt. Leicester going back side by side with the man from Team GB. Epos well clear of the field. Let's see what the stopwatch says and whether Bosbez is able to hold. The answer is a yes. And Leicester will not be able to prevent the ace going the way of Team GB. The writing is on the wall. It won't go away. It's an omen, and a bad one at that for Team Germany. A 10-point deficit to climb back now. Ace or bust, or it looks like P2 might be going the way of Team GB, and a task has been done so much simpler for Boz and Epos with that little touch from Leicester.
Yeah, that's over, but also the times in the previous round, like mid 0.7s and a 0.6 again. But I mean, Great Britain too, they just have to survive here. But let's see, maybe they're gonna end it with a bang here. I mean, there's still a lot of things that can happen, especially the ice slide, which is quite tricky to do, especially the exit from it, and also just aligning it accordingly. But let's take a look. Will both players survive it? The answer is a yes, and Bosbaz and Epos will win the mixed duo grand final of the Trackmania Games 2026, and thereby locking in second position. It doesn't matter that Bosbez made a mistake. Epos is on second place, and here you go, Great Britain 2 with an stellar performance here on the last map, just completely dominating Germany with 3 aces in a row. What a great performance.
Great performance, and we honestly, game 3 happened. Kind of sad we didn't get an overtime, because that would have been absolute pure cinema. But yeah, as we said earlier, like after that back-to-back ace from Team GB2, like that wake up was so
that was a reality check.
It hit Germany. Yeah, that was more than a reality check. That was just a brick wall. That was just a brick wall that that Germany hit face first. Let's face it. Let's just put the fact how it was. That's just a brick wall. You can't fight with that.
Yeah. Well, you won map 1, you get map 3, you get map 3. This kind of mindset. But that was it. That's a wrap for the Trackmania Games 2026. But we are not done yet. Orion and also Twiggy are joining us again. What was that match, guys?
Boys. Oh no!
Yes!
Yeah, there you go. I called it. There's one right there that cannot contain himself, and he's about to be insufferable for the next 3 weeks. Mark my words.
Oh my god! Just saying, we got the most gold. We got the most gold. That's it. That's it. We win. All right, guys. We didn't win. Germany won, but you know, we got the most gold. So you know, you're never gonna live that down. Anyway. That was a great cast. Well done, guys. I'm sure myself and Orion are both happy. That's not the updated leaderboards. That was the leaderboards before this match. And Great Britain, I think with that, as far as we are aware, we will confirm it eventually, but as far as we're aware, we get second place by 70 points over France. So that will be, I think, the final standings for that one. First to Germany, second to Team GB, third to France. After that, either way, we've got plenty of time to wrap things up. Hopefully, we'll have an interview with the winners of that match as well. But Orion, you know, you've been sat in the wings just like me watching that one. You know, we made it a little bit shaky there, but how are you feeling after that?
No, it was calm. It was calm. Never in doubt. You know, Boz and Epos. They win mixed solo. They win mixed duo. What is there to be scared about?
It's true.
Yeah, can I just interject for a second? Because the standings have been updated, and you can also consult that for yourself at tngames.gear5.org. And just a quick refresh from... there you go. The refresh has been done. And indeed, by 72 points, it will be Team GB up to second place. France down the third. I mean, let's face it. France came in clutch with some amazing results, especially that gold medal from Lane in Trial. But there was just a lot missing to the table. Like, absolute disaster showings in many of the disciplines. Lane being the the little bit of happiness that we got to witness, of course, as well. Let's not forget Luna's performance in full speed. RPG was really where that should have come clutch for France, but it just wasn't meant to be after a more PO performance that just left a lot to be desired and made, not just Frenchie sad, but I think all fans of RPG were just stunned by the turnaround from semifinal to final. I think you'll agree with that, Twiggy.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And look, we're going to have the interview very quickly. I don't know if I think we're going to go for a break before. Turbo, I'll get some final words for you, although you'll be back after that. Well, how are you feeling after that one?
I mean, it was a great performance from Letzter and New Prime, but it really felt like there was more possible. They threw some rounds away that they could have definitely taken home, but listen, map 3, that was unfair from Great Britain too. Like those first 3 rounds.
That was unnecessary.
Was that? Like
I'm
very happy to see that, but I think in
general, told them to sandbag. Come on.
The last 2 days, like so many things were unclear about it, and it just got gradually more clear that Germany is going to win. But it was still close for second place, and I think that's a very good way of ending it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look, we're going to go to a quick break. I'm going to say goodbye to G-Geek now. I think we need somebody to make way for our interviews, and your voices...
I need to down this whole water bottle just to regenerate my throat. So I'll take the break gladly, and I'll be back for some closing thoughts for sure.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you for your work on that game. Amazing cast, as always. And we're going to head to a quick break now. We'll be back with an interview with Epos and Bozbez to get their thoughts on getting themselves second place for their country and first place in mixed duos. Join us very shortly for that and the closing ceremony, as it were. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Trackmania Games, but I guess it's not really the Trackmania Games anymore, it's all over. That's it, we've just got a winner's interview and then we are going to wrap it up for you guys. So I am joined by Epos and Bozbez, as we see there, the beautiful British flag flying over our interview
today.
Box. Yeah, wonderful stuff.
I made sure to comb it.
Brilliant. All right, well, first off, congratulations, guys. I mean, we had you here after the mixed solos, and we were, I think me and Orion basically instilled some hope in you. We went, you know, if you're not here for the mixed duos, then what's going on? So, you know, just opening thoughts. How was it?
Boss, go.
Dude, go. Like, it was all chill and vibes and gaming, and then we turn up in the finals, and like, it's chill and vibes and gaming, and then Leicester does 7, 9, 9, and suddenly it's not so cool. But we win, and then we get a next map, and then we just get massive. At that point, I'm like, what if we got second place? That'd be fine. They're playing well, and then like, get through the last map just about. Had some nice rounds to start it off. Holy shit, that was hard though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys pulled off an insane performance. There was a little bit of shakiness. Were you guys feeling that it was, you know, you kind of maybe, you know, how do I say this, not performing to your expectations, or the Germans kind of outperforming what you thought was possible and really putting in those strong rounds that started to swing the pendulum?
I don't know. I think we played pretty good, to be honest. Like, we both had median of 0.6 on mime, and it's just not good enough. We played good, man. Like, really.
We played in the solo, and here we are, and it's like, oh.
I don't know. They just peaked out of their minds. I've never seen New Prime and Leicester play better in their life.
And you still beat them. So.
Yeah, that's
but not on that map. That's the thing. Like, on that map, untouchable. True. Really.
Yeah, like, addiction. I mean, there was this final round. The final round where it looked like you guys get the victory, and then they just overtook both of you in the end, and they got the ace eventually. That was absolutely incredible. Like, what was your thought process of like losing that map? Was it like a wow, or did you expect that? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know about Boz, but I was feeling a little shaky on mime since the start of the day. I think it was the same for Boz, but yeah. I don't know. With the times that we drove, in hindsight, I would have expected us to win that map, but they just did better. I don't know. Nothing else to say.
Like, that's the best performance anyone's done on the map, and they were both doing it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it could have gone
insane.
so wrong as well. Like, we had a lead at the start of board on, like a big lead, and we like barely like inched it over the line. But if they had going on board on earlier, we just lose the match.
But same on map 1, it felt like there were 2 rounds in particular, or maybe even 3, 2.5, where I think Nupram also failed the ending in the last rounds, where you made mistakes. I think especially you, Epos, you've made some mistakes on map number 1, but Letster and Nupram, they were also throwing it away. So would you say it was also a bit luck-based that it was maybe that clear for map number 1? Or like, give or take clear?
I'd say at the start of the map, it wasn't lucky that me and Boz got a lead, but I think we, I don't know, had some element of luck scraping by at the fin. Because, I mean, like Boz said, doing 0.7, 0.9, 0.9 by Letster back-to-back on round 7 through 9 is just... I don't know, that's just unbelievable. He just had like sparks in that match where he just played phenomenally. Phenomenally.
Back up early, I can just
English is my first language.
Hard word.
Yeah.
Oh no. You're gonna reveal that you're actually playing for France and suddenly the standings are back into disrepair. That would be.
This is my secret.
Speaking of which, though, you know, we knew obviously on the broadcast, we were talking about it quite a lot that France could stay in second place if we didn't get that victory in the grand finals there. Did you guys know that? Were you aware before the match started of the stakes involved?
No idea. I don't know about Boz.
Yeah, I knew, but like, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do you think that put extra pressure on you, Boz, or were you like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Were you just kind of more thinking about the match than the wider context?
You just gotta play what it is to win. Like, there's so many factors going into these overall point totals that it's kind of like, if we lose, oh no, like, just wanted to focus in on the match, and the match is hard enough as it is. Like,
so no pressure, just joy, because you talked about shakiness.
I mean, hella pressure, but not necessarily from the threat of getting third.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. You just played.
To be fair, I think even if I knew it, even if I knew it, I don't think it would have been a factor in my head. It's just I always want to edge a match over New Prime and Letster. It's just, I don't know, friendly matches in my head, and I always want to do better than them. So I'm glad we did do better than them.
I see that.
Well, that's all that matters in the end, yeah. All right, guys. I think unless Orion and Turbo, you have anything pressing that you want to ask, all right. I guess all that is left is congratulations, Epos and Bozbez, for your second gold medal for Epos and a gold medal as well as that silver for Bozbez. Well done, guys.
Woo!
Thank you.
Let's go. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Bye.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for asking our questions. Is there anything you guys like want to say, like to the broadcast? Or
I'm starving. I'm gonna go get dinner. All the best.
Feel
You
ill.
deserve it.
Yep.
Enjoy.
All right, wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll say goodbye to you now, and we'll wrap up this show for you. Goodbye. All right, they're not even. No goodbye back. Cool. They're just out. They're gone. Oh, there you go.
Boss says
Hey!
goodbye.
Yeah, thanks, boss. Thanks. Yeah, no,
Love this
it's
guy.
really good being ignored by
hope
Epos.
Stream
That's
got
wonderful. That feels really good. Anyway, we will get G-Geek back up in here as soon as we can. I think we're ready for that right about now. Come on, Magic.
G-Geek type 1.
Production magic.
Oh.
I know you're salty about coming third, but you gotta.
Okay.
We just.
I mean,
no, my bad.
it's quite
my
fun.
bad, guys. My bad.
But it's quite fun that,
okay.
that the casters or also the hosts in here, like we're all on the podium, like just nation-wise, not that we played, right?
It's
but
true. Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think I'm stuck on the side of the road, guys. No, there you go. Hey, I'm back, and the car's still there. Cool. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You know what? I'm over it. I had to go get had to do some business and get some replenishing because let's say that the not just this last set of matches, but the whole 3 weeks that we've had of competition has just been phenomenal, intense, high in emotions. We've all been super invested in this, no matter how you slice it, either as broadcast talent, or as a fan, it's been a wonderful 3 weeks to follow it. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything for what we've just seen here. It was a great set of competitions great set of events that we've seen throughout this competition. I'm so happy to have been able to live it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, look, go for it.
No, you go for it. You go for it. You go for it. I'm sorry.
So much. Oh, that's so nice of you. I mean, we're going to be talking to you guys before the end of the broadcast anyway, but like, are there any kind of closing thoughts that you guys have on this one? I think we're going to stay 4cam, so you're going to have to actually watch me monologue in a little bit, I think. But anyway, yeah, Orion, anything, we've already kind of gone over everything, but go ahead if you have.
Yeah,
I mean,
thoughts
on everything?
Just from me, it's been an absolute pleasure to cast all of it. I was saying to Twiggy in the green room that while we've had some amazing events in Trackmania professionally, from Trackmania Grand League to World Tour, this feels like it's been the grandest, like in terms of the scale, in terms of the number of people involved, in terms of the hours that have been put in, both in production, broadcasting, mapping, players learning the maps, playing, streaming. There's been so much going on, and it's been absolutely wonderful to see this community come together. Trackmania originated as a game of nations, and it feels like we've come full circle here, so it's been absolutely fantastic to see. Thank you to everyone that's engaged. I hope that I have done some of the broadcasts justice with the casting that I've lent to it, because the matches have completely outdone themselves. So yeah, massive thank you from me to everyone involved, and thank you for everyone for watching.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have I'll throw it back to you guys in just a little bit, but unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to my voice for a bit now and just watch me talk for a bit, I think, because you're staying on camera while I do all of the closing thoughts here from everybody. I have a list of things I need to say. So first off, go check out the Trackmania Games socials and Discord. That's at Trackmania Games on Twitter. tmgames.gear5.org is the website, and the Discord can be found on there as well. You can share clips from the event. There's up for grabs, I think, some Trackmania Games merch for you. If you do so, there's a possibility of getting those. Keep an eye out for future events from Gear 5 and for Trackmania Esports generally. This is going to be a big year for this game and for everybody involved. And now I have to say quite a lot of thank yous. So first of all, thank you, Gear 5, for putting on the whole event. It was a hell of an undertaking, both logistically and in practice, and I'm sure everyone can agree that it was absolutely immense. It's going to be a highlight for all of our years. Thank you to Nadeo for supporting the Trackmania Games, and of course in lending their lovely Twitch channel to us. Thank you to the admins for keeping things running so smoothly, putting in the hours to take care of everything behind the scenes, and thank you to the teams, big and small, and the captains of those teams for putting on, what was an insanely good show for everybody, giving us plenty of highlights to look back on. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this one right up until the next Trackmania Games. And on that note, thank you to the mappers for giving us so many beautiful and competitive stages for those teams to compete across. And from me, on a personal note, thank you to, first off, my co-hosts who aren't here right now, Nualaic and Randomize, and then thank you to, first off, you three, obviously Orion, Turbo, and G-Geek as casters, as well as Boney, Formal, Gex, Legion 2K, Padster, who also helped with the broadcast management, and Pyro. Thank you to the producers, Kachen and Deployer, and thank you to our broadcast manager, AJ, as well. And of course, thank you to you, the viewers, for supporting relentlessly, cheering on your favorites. We really could not have done any of this without you. And to a specific viewer, Alex2, for your incredibly generous donations during Trackmania for hours to help make this event happen. Yep. And now, I guess I bring you guys back. Final thoughts from everybody. Orion, you can get it. Well, I mean, you already went.
I've already
Do you want to go
mine
again?
In, so straight to you, Turbo.
Turbo, go for it.
I mean, it just showed the diversity of Trackmania when it comes to styles, but also the community itself. From North Macedonia having one player in there, to Germany with 2 squads, full speed players, trial players, mapping events. There was something for everybody, and it was just an amazing event. You guys you have already said everything about it, but I'm very grateful to be part of this as a caster. It was so much fun casting it with you guys, and those 10 hours that I sat here, I feel still so good. It was so much fun, so much joy, and also very professional, really. I have to say that. It was amazing, and just thank you. I cannot stress it enough. It was probably one of the best events that I've ever casted.
G-Geek yourself.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to put things to words. I mean, with the way I work, of course, but Kai said it's a real representation of the diversity of Trackmania, but also this is the demonstration of one key thing. Putting our individualism aside, our individual differences aside, and uniting to fight for a common goal, to try and fly the flag of your nation high and proud in the Trackmania community. And this is something that we have missed so sorely over the last few years in Trackmania competition. It's such a refreshing thing to see that come back. And it's been such a blast to see that across all of the different disciplines. Everything got its spot in the sunshine. Everything got its spot on the stage. Some having delivered everything having delivered such an incredible competition. And I'm so glad to have been able to be a part of such a journey. A huge thanks to all of the Gear 5 team for having not only me, but all of us casters on board. Huge shout out to Kachen and Deployer in production, AJ as cast manager, Patster as well. And of course, the hosts, Twiggy, Nua, Randomize, for making us feel comfortable. Sometimes maybe giving us a little bit of a kick in the butt whenever we either slump a little bit or try to get us back in line whenever we step out of line. But I think we kept it all things considered pretty nicely. But 2026 is off to a flyer. This is going to be a big year for Trackmania
Maybe
esports.
It's the year.
All I've got to say is watch this space.
Indeed. Thank you so much, guys. And look, everybody stick around because there is going to be credits after this where we can, you can see all the wonderful people who worked on the event. And I mean, look, it's about over. It's been my honor to be the first and last voice that many of you will have heard over the Trackmania games on this broadcast, as well as plenty in between. So thank you once again. Congratulations to Team Germany and everybody else who competed. And goodbye.
Tired of waiting. It'd be wasted time to save this. Is it so wrong to wanna walk away from all the changes?